Welcome to Digital Marketing Intelligence Ask the Experts, a live bi-weekly show to help you know what to do and what's new in digital marketing for 2021 and beyond. Ask questions, suggest topics, and grow faster with actionable insights and proven strategies from the world's leading experts. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Digital Marketing Intelligence for Entrepreneurs Ask the Experts. I'm Marissa Morgan. I'll be your show host today. I'm also the Business Development Manager at Engage. On behalf of myself and the whole team at Engage, I want to welcome you to today's show. Today's topic is a hot one. We're talking about live streaming and why being a part of the live streaming movement and getting yourself online live is critical for growth in 2021 and beyond. I'll be welcoming our guest expert in just a moment, and she'll be sharing with us some wonderful tips on how to get on live stream, what to do once you're there, where to stream live, and we're going to learn all kinds of great things that she does to help with her social selling and to help when she consults her clients in the area of social selling. So be sure to stay tuned because after today's show, as always, I'll be sharing our Engage digital marketing news of the week as well. Now, if you've never heard of Engage, what is Engage? Well, we are actually a cloud-based platform, a software platform that gives small, medium-sized, all kinds of businesses in all industries the tools they need to grow and scale. But we do it right now and it's free forever. So check out our website after today's show. It's engage.com. If you're listening on the podcast, that's NGAGGE.com. If you're watching us live right now on LinkedIn, I've got a link for you on the screen. Give that a quick screen grab so you can check us out after today's live show. You'll find over 35 now different tools that you can use to grow and scale. Those tools are free. So join us now, check out our free tools. We're all about helping optimize the customer experience. That's what our brand does. And what does that mean? Optimizing the customer experience. That means providing convenience for your customers. And our tools allow you to do just that by engaging with your customers on your website or wherever your customers may be. That might even be on social media. Our tools also help you to build trust. Why is trust important? Well, loyal customers buy more, they return less, and in the long run, they'll stay loyal to your brand. So you can use our tools to help personalize your engagement. That's important. And also to help with product recommendations, which will show your customers that you care about their needs, right? It's all about what the customer's pain points are. It's not about you. So check out our tools. You can sign up right now. Customers will love messaging you and knowing that their messages are being received by you or your agents in this one inbox that allows you to personalize your messages and obviously respond to your customers in context. That's what our platform allows you to do. So check that out at the end of the show. And also, I'm going to talk more about this at the end of the show because it really relates to our topic today. And that is our new program that we just rolled out called Engage Live. I will quickly share the link for that, but engagelive.com is where you can go to check out our program. And that is a place where you can get help if you want to go ahead and start live streaming. Maybe you want to start interviewing people at your company. Maybe you want to become an influencer in your niche, right? Live streaming is a great way to do that, and we can help produce your shows for you or teach you how to do it yourself. So check out Engage Live after our show for more information about our live streaming program. Okay, without further ado, it is time for me to introduce you to today's wonderful guest who's joining us from Canada. Her name is Rebecca Cramer. If you don't know who Rebecca is, you need to. An experienced digital marketing professional, Rebecca is a social selling master who specializes in coaching business owners to leverage their company's own unique story in order to increase their social selling metrics and, of course, blow away their audience with a masterful use of digital marketing tools through implementing a strategy customized to their needs and their goals. And, of course, their customers' pain points, right? Now, as a part of Rebecca's commitment to helping businesses grow, she created the She Hustles podcast, which is a collection of interviews with industry leaders, social selling, and digital marketing tips as well. You can find the She Hustles web podcast on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. We'll also share her website at the end of our show, where she has links to listen to every episode as well. As part of Rebecca's mission to support entrepreneurs and small to medium sized businesses, Rebecca has also created a private social selling Facebook group where you can get daily coaching tips from Rebecca for free and also watch her podcast recordings live. Today, Rebecca's here to help us understand why live streaming video is so critical to growing your business in 2021 and beyond. Rebecca, on behalf of myself and the entire team at Engage, welcome to Digital Marketing Intelligence, and thank you for being today's expert.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you having me on your show.
We're so excited you're here because, as I just shared, you are a digital marketing master, or maybe even a maven. I love the word maven when we're talking about female leaders in the tech space, digital marketing. And you have a very interesting career path, and you've done a lot in the world of digital marketing. Before we jump right into today's topic, do you want to share with us just a little bit, maybe a Cliff Notes 2 minute, 3 minutes kind of highlight reel of some of your wins in the business and the path that led you to founding your company and starting your podcast?
Absolutely. So, thanks so much for having me. Like I said, I'm really excited to be here. Um, so I coach my clients and I teach them how to use social media and social selling, including going live, to actually convert their audience into paying customers. I also, and how that got started, how I started coaching, is because I have a digital marketing agency where we actually do the work for our clients or on our clients' behalf. And I started my agency around 6 years ago. Before that, I was at Yellow Pages for 10 years. And that's really where I got to understand, working with small to medium businesses, what worked, what didn't work, but mostly what their pains were. Because back in the olden days when I was at Yellow Pages, it was like you just had to be in the phone book. Now you have to figure out a way to actually communicate with people in order for them to feel like they want to do business with you. And so lots of changes and lots of, I guess, progression for me to go from Yellow Pages and learning and meeting small to medium sized business owners, and growing into my own agency where I'm still focusing on the same audience, but helping them figure out a way to actually communicate authentically to their potential customer, especially since the last year we've kind of all been really locked up and we're craving human interaction and communication. And so that's kind of how I progressed to where I am now, helping people figure it out on their own.
Well, and you just brought up a really great point. And if you're just joining us, welcome to Digital Marketing Intelligence, Ask the Experts. Rebecca's here, and we're talking about not only digital marketing, but specifically live streaming. And Rebecca just touched on something so important. It's all about the customer's pain point, the customer need. But I think the one commonality that customers, business owners, entrepreneurs, employees, the thing we all share right now is that need for the human interaction, but we want that human interaction kind of on our own terms, I think, especially now that there's this endless amount, infinite opportunity for engagement, right, through all of these online outlets. But there's also a lot of stuff that we're bombarded with as well, and a lot of choices. So I think live streaming is an excellent way to connect with your customer, right? And to give them that human interaction. And when you do it, especially like we're doing it right now, where it's actually live and people can leave comments and questions, you only bolster the relationship as well because people feel like they're being heard if they have questions or if they're participating, they feel like they're there with you, right?
Yeah, exactly. I always recommend, well, maybe it's different for if you're recording a podcast, but if you're someone who is you're going live so that so that people can see you're authentic and that you're an expert, to even be calling out people's names as they're joining your live or as they're, because it creates that engagement that that they're there, that you can respond to them in real time. um I think that's definitely true.
Ooh, I love that you brought that up too, because speaking of that, right now, if you're watching, and so many of you are now joining us on LinkedIn Live, I can see the numbers creeping up. So if you are joining us, leave us a comment. Let us know where you're joining us from today, because we are live right now. I'm broadcasting live from my little kind of home den in Wayzata, Minnesota. And you're in Canada, Rebecca. So share with us in Canada where you are.
Yeah, I'm in Calgary in Alberta, so just north of Montana.
Ooh, I love it. So let us know where you're joining from. It's really fun for us to be able to participate together on a global scale. We have people who tune in from Brazil, from Puerto Rico, from the UK, even from Australia. So it's really exciting to be able to share where our audience is joining from. And I see the number creeping up as you guys are all joining us. So welcome to the show. If you're just joining us, this is a great tip, by the way. Take it from me. If you're just joining us, and you're looking to boost engagement on your own LinkedIn page, consider sharing. And there's a little button with an arrow at the bottom of our live. Consider sharing this live stream right now to your page, because then you're sharing information, you're sharing education, you're encouraging your network to join you right now in our virtual room. And that's a great way to boost engagement in a way that's organic to your page. So
Yeah.
consider helping us grow our live stream and also boost your engagement in the process. So many people are just dropping in, and I'm going to share where you're all joining from, and we're going to give you a big hello. So Sohel, not sure how to say your name. So I'm going to go with Sohel is joining us from Dubai. Welcome. Crystal's joining us from Duluth, Minnesota, just up the road from me. Welcome, Crystal. The Nomad Group is joining us right now from Mexico. And BG is also joining us from Dubai. Welcome, you guys. Thank you for joining Digital Marketing Intelligence. We're going to jump right now live into our chat with Rebecca, and let's talk about why live streaming is crucial to growing your business. And Rebecca, I hope you don't mind. I want to pop up a slide and just read through it quickly because it highlights some of the reasons that live stream is crucial for growing your business. Would that be okay with you?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
Maybe just super fast on the subject of people sharing the feed.
Yeah.
Video content is so important when it comes to anything that you're posting or creating for content. So by sharing this on your feed, not only is that additional content that you didn't have to come up with, it's actually value add for whoever is connected to you, because we're talking about things that are really important and using a platform that we're actually talking about. So I just wanted to add my 2 cents about sharing this feed right now, just because it absolutely can benefit the person sharing, probably maybe even more than us. So
I love that. And I actually just shared the link to my page. So make sure you do that. You can tag Rebecca, you can tag myself, and let's get some great questions and conversation going today about live streaming and video content. So let's just ask the question to the universe. Why live stream? Why get on video? Why go live? Why do interview segments with guests? Let's see what the universe has to say. Well, what about that opportunity to build trust, which we know Rebecca knows a lot about social selling? Building trust means selling more. What about the opportunity to use live streaming to engage with unlimited leads? And what that means is Right now we're live on LinkedIn. We know there's billions of people right now on LinkedIn who may just randomly notice us, or maybe they saw the ad that we put up for our show. Maybe they saw a post. Think about all the people you can connect with when you're live. Let's talk about expanding your reach, scaling faster, and then tracking the results. How many people tuned in live? How many people downloaded your live stream or your podcast? It's a great way to grow. It's a great way to grow smarter. And it's a great way to kind of track what's working, what shows are a hit, or what topics people are interested in. So, Rebecca, where do you want to start with our talk about live streaming?
Yeah, I mean, even just go through these points, like to talk about, I mean, when it comes to building trust and selling more. So when you go live, what happens, regardless of what platform you're going live on, whatever social media platform it is, will give you priority. They'll send out a notification to the people that follow you. They'll bump you to the front of the page, because all of these platforms are competing against television networks. So now they're going to reward you. So not only does it benefit you, well, it benefits you in multiple different ways, but your audience is gonna see that you're live. And then if you're providing value, so we don't just, I mean, I suppose some of us go live just to go live. It's still good for your account. But if you're going live, what happens when you go live and you provide value? Whatever you're providing value about, that audience that is watching is going to get to see that you're an expert. Because you can't possibly go live and talk about something that you don't know anything about. When you're live, it's authentic, it's real. People will be able to tell if you don't know what you're talking about. So the trust factor is huge when you go live, because you can only be your authentic self. You can't be, I mean, I suppose you could be fake, but
You could maybe try to fake the funk, but the minute a question gets dropped in or someone says, "Oh, that's weird you say you're a plastic surgeon because on your LinkedIn profile it says you're an animator." You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
people can cross-check references so easily and
exactly.
see what your online presence looks like as well, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So the building trust is huge for being able to do that. And the fact that you can take questions from people who might be watching, and that you can interact. I guess I'm blending through the next one. Um, it just makes it more real. So I don't know where do you usually go live?
So you asking us as our live stream, and also if you're watching right now, drop a note in the comment section if you are going live right now. If you live stream or simulcast somewhere, let us know what your experience has been going live. We live stream through StreamYard right here to LinkedIn Live, and also we're simulcast to YouTube and Facebook as well. One thing I think is important is for us as a brand, Engage, we've been working on becoming really an influencer, right, in the digital marketing space. And building this live stream, by the way, I think this is show 32. So this is awesome. We've only been doing this for a few months. So we're excited to have you here, Rebecca. But building this over the last few months, watching how each week we tend to have more engagement, more questions, more people tuning in, watching the number of replays has been fantastic because we are creating, as you said, Rebecca, a place where we're giving the audience information, insights, that, invaluable or indispensable information, really, that they can use to grow their businesses.
Yeah.
So I think you brought up a good point too about making sure you're bringing something of value to the table. But yeah, I also think LinkedIn Live is where we want to be. It's important that we're here. This is where our target demographic is of business owners, entrepreneurs, digital marketing specialists, and people who want to learn more. But don't forget, I mean, there are people who still use YouTube as a resource. And there are people who may be on LinkedIn, but maybe they just prefer to use Facebook or
Mhm.
Instagram or a different social site. So I think it's important to be consistent where you're streaming, but it's also okay to experiment and stream different places. What do you think about where people should stream, or thoughts on that?
I agree with streaming to multiple places. When I do record She Hustles, we stream as well. We stream on LinkedIn Live. Love LinkedIn Live. And also YouTube and also Facebook. I think we throw it on a couple other places just for, like, I think we also add Twitch because it's
Mhm.
allowable, but we really focus on promoting on the platforms that we know our audience will be. The great thing about YouTube is that it's like a library, so it's important to create content on YouTube for sure. I would say go live where your audience is. Like if your audience is on Facebook, go live on Facebook. If your audience is on Instagram, go live on Instagram. Clubhouse is another live social platform that's a little bit different. It's a little more unique than the other social platforms that we usually go live on. But it really is important, like what you guys are doing. You're teaching people, so you're providing value, and then people will see you as the experts. They'll see you as people who they can rely on, or a business that they can rely on for knowledge, and then they'll be more likely to buy from you.
I agree 100%. And I like that you brought up too that YouTube is a great way to have this library of your shows, of your creations. And I'll share with those of you watching in just a moment our library. We actually have an Engage library that we created online. And Rebecca, you're going to love this because your show will live there. And what's so great is we have all these amazing guests who are all experts in their niches. And to be in that group of wonderful guests not only adds to your credibility as well, right? But it puts you in a space with, like-minded people. And maybe someone will go to our library to watch a show about Clubhouse, and then they'll see Rebecca. Oh, she's talking
Mhm.
about live streaming. I want to do that too. And it's a great way for people to have all those resources in one place, not in one places. Really quick, Rebecca, before you just share your next thought, Achochi just joined us from Nigeria.
Yeah.
Achochi is one of our original engagers. He's been tuning in for almost all of our shows. Welcome back, Achochi. Bring some good questions. You always have good questions. And then I'll share a question, but we can get to it in a minute, Rebecca, but something we can think about. So Hell from Dubai wants to know if you have any ideas that would be good for live streaming in terms of the hospitality industry. So something, if certain things come to mind, let's keep that at the forefront of our brain as we kind of continue our talk.
Absolutely, absolutely. So one of the things that I was going to mention just before I talk about the hospitality opportunity is just like what we're doing here. Don't forget to be on other people's stages. So what we're doing here, I'm being interviewed. I love it. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. But the opportunity for both of us to potentially reach the other person's audience, that's huge, because maybe there's people in your audience that would never do business with you. Maybe they love you, maybe they tune in all the time, but you just don't have a product that they need, or that they want, or maybe it's not a right fit. But maybe there's someone in my audience
Mhm.
that would fit. And so being on other people's stages and being visible gives you exposure when you're going live. So it's not just about going live on your own stage. You should be going live on other people's stages. You should be. It's a hard thing. I know for a lot of people, going live for the first time or often, it's hard because you're really putting yourself out there and being vulnerable. And so I'll tell you, the more you do it, the easier it will be. Like you said earlier, that you started, it's episode 32. You're being consistent, you're gaining your audience. Everybody starts from episode 1. Everybody starts from episode 1. Maybe you start before there's even episodes. Every time that you go live, every time that you be vulnerable and go on other people's stages or on your own, it's practice. So consider it practice for the next time.
That's a
But
great tip. That's a great tip. And just to share, we're really big on that as well. We had a guest named David Garfinkel, who is a very well known copywriter. And right now he's been really exploring copywriting in terms of video, right? Because video is a huge thing.
yeah.
And he actually asked me to come on his podcast, the Copywriters Podcast, and do an interview about my experience in the world of home shopping, right? Video selling, sales through video, through camera. And then we also talked about what the Engage platform is and what we do, and how we help people to achieve, obviously, their goals to engage with their customers and really optimize the customer experience. So I think that's a great point you just brought up. And exposure is a big part of it's why we're on social media. It's why we care about the number of followers or the people engaging with us or commenting. It's this whole large scale desire to have more exposure because more exposure means more sales, more leads, more customers, right?
Money follows attention.
Ooh, I like that. That's why J Lo is so rich.
Exactly.
Um, I thought of something for Sohel, and I hope I'm saying your name right, but he asked about any good ideas about hospitality. Rebecca, what do you think about this? Peep this idea. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's say you own a restaurant or a nightclub. What if you did a 15 or 30-minute, live stream, maybe every Thursday night or Friday night before your club or restaurant really got super busy? And maybe you interviewed the head bartender. Oh, what's the special drink of the night? Or what are our dinner specials? Or maybe you did a live stream and you had a straight up microphone and you had your camera and you interviewed some of the patrons at the bar, right? Kind of a live stream. Check us out this weekend. Come down. This is the energy, or these are the events maybe that we're doing this weekend to get people to know that you're open, know that you know. I mean, things are a little different now. Some restaurants didn't even make it through the pandemic, so I don't know, something like that before maybe the restaurant gets busy for the evening.
I love that. Going live before an event or before a busy time gives you the opportunity to generate some interest and hopefully drive traffic for sure. And I think the idea of anything cooking, anything um, where you're making something, it's good. It's good. I like lately what I'm noticing is video content, even that has more like excitement or emotion, will even get more attention than a video that doesn't. It sounds, I mean, I guess it sounds like, well, obviously, but
No, that makes sense though. Like think about like the onions falling in the skillet and the sizzle of the onions
yeah,
and like the cooks talking about the fragrance of the basil with the spaghetti or whatever.
yeah,
It's like and you see these fresh ingredients and you see, look, even me watching the screen right now as we're live, the moment I'm moving around with my hands, it's more interesting even to me as a
yeah,
participant. So action and energy and um interaction, I think. And yeah, anything that's a how to, I think is a great how to make this, how to prepare this, what's happening behind the scenes. All of those things I think would be great and
yeah.
very interesting for a live stream.
And if you can make people feel like they're missing out,
Ooh,
that's
FOMO.
exactly. That's the
FOMO, you are missing out.
yeah.
Achochi just shared that he appreciates the idea that you just put out about being on other people's stages. Achochi, we agree wholeheartedly. It's a great idea. It's also a great idea to continue nurturing a connection. Rebecca, you may not be doing business with me, and I may not be doing business with you like you shared, but I could potentially help you. You could potentially help me. Your audience might be interested in what I do, vice versa. So, really good tip.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, let's talk a little bit. Let's see. Why to live stream? Let's talk about, we talked a lot about building trust, selling more. Let's talk about the idea of this unlimited leads. I know one thing that you talked about, Rebecca, or that you reminded us is it's important for us to be where our demographic is. How do you determine that? How do we decide, okay, well, is it through testing? Is it through being in all these different places and seeing where we get the most views? How did you decide where to put the podcast, even though you said you're a lot of places, but how
Yeah.
did you decide where your number one priority would be?
I think, obviously there's, or maybe not obviously. I should stop using that word obviously.
Yeah.
Um, Depending on your industry, like there's different industries that do better on different platforms. Like if I was a realtor, I don't know that LinkedIn would be my platform as of choice. Maybe if I was a realtor, maybe that would be Instagram or Facebook. But that you're going to find that out once you try these platforms. So I guess first of all, you would need to determine who that audience persona is. Like who is the person that if you have an existing business, who's that client of yours that pays on time, that always that signs the contract, that keeps growing. Who is that out of the last year? Think about who your best and your absolute best persona, best client was, and go after more of that person. If you don't have any idea who your best client was over the last year, you can certainly figure out who you want to target, whose problems that you can solve. And these are really all things, once you figure out who your audience is, you're gonna be able to go live and attract these people, and you'll know that you're on the right platform. And what will happen is people will start asking you questions during the live stream, just like people are doing right now with this one. And then we can actually create content based on what people are asking in the live stream, because it's real time. I have this question, and now you can create content from the content that you're creating.
I agree 100%. And I think it's funny you use the realtor example because I have a girlfriend who's a realtor and she's been having tremendous success on Facebook.
Mhm.
So she has found out that's where her customers are. And through these really fun, quirky, almost comical videos, she now has a following there because not only has she created content to let her audience know she's available, she's like their local realtor, but she brings a lot of humor into her content as well. So people actually now want to watch her videos just for their daily smile. So I think also figuring out what's the best way to actually um, have that breakthrough with your customer. Maybe it's through humor. Maybe, as Rebecca shared, it's through a how to video or, again, giving insights, business knowledge, all good things. Great question for us, Rebecca. Garev wants to know what are the ways you can let people know about your live stream, both organic and paid? I'm glad he asked that because I know you have some thoughts on paid ads and other ways to maybe, grow your business. Um,
Yeah, so absolutely you could do paid ads. Um, I know paid ads are a necessity. But some great ways that you can tell your audience about your event ahead of time. So on Instagram, you want to make sure that there's stories everywhere. So post a story before the event. If you post a story the day before the event, so 24 hours ahead of the event, then people will see it on the lead up. And you can post stories. You can even post stories. I don't have any experience with this yet. You could post stories on YouTube. Yes. So you can post stories on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and you just tell your audience what platform they can tune in on. So even if you're not going live on Instagram, you still have some people who might see you on Instagram. You can tell them to head over to LinkedIn on the time that they want to participate in your event. You can create events on Facebook where you have them scheduled. If you're using an amazing platform like I use Restream. I know that you guys use StreamYard. I don't know it with StreamYard if you could do this, but I can actually, I imagine you can. You can just schedule the event in the streaming platform, and it will automatically schedule events on the different social platforms as well. Does StreamYard do that?
I think it does, but I'm not 100% certain. Our marketing girl, Shristi, is the one who sets up our event every week. And I think she actually has to do it separately on LinkedIn now that I think about it. Um, so yeah. So
Yeah.
it is different. So it's good to know that different platforms have different tools and different opportunities to share.
And one more thing that you could do a baby live right before the big one so that you can tell people. Like often I'll go live on Instagram and tell people to head over to whatever platform I want or whatever platform I'm about to go live on so that the people who maybe forgot or maybe didn't see that story or maybe didn't have that information, but you definitely want to make sure that you talk about it ahead of time. And if you're going live with someone else, make sure that they're also sharing it to their profiles so that you could capture their audience too.
Great tips. Garev, I hope we answered your question. And I think sharing with the guests is important and also tagging anybody else who might be live streaming with you, because then if they're tagged, they can turn around and reshare the post as well. And keep in mind, the most important thing we've learned, and I think Rebecca, you'll agree with me, it's all about being consistent. Doing a live stream on a random Tuesday and maybe promoting it a little bit and expecting a ton of people to show up, I think you need to relax on your expectations if you've never done it before. And this actually ties into the next question I see coming. Don't expect to get a huge turnout just because you're doing it. Nobody's at home on their couch going, I cannot wait for Marissa or Rebecca to just go live someday so I can ask her a question. No one cares about you, right? It's not about you, it's about them. So don't have high expectations, especially the first time you do it. Remember that consistency is key. So we now are doing our show twice a week, and it's almost always, depending on our guest schedules, on a Tuesday and a Thursday. Occasionally it's a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Wednesday, Thursday, but you'll notice we never go live on Mondays. We never go live on Fridays. We feel like for us, the best time is Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday. So we're very consistent with our timing. We're
Mhm.
also consistent where we are. So you'll always find us on LinkedIn Live, also YouTube, also Facebook. So that's something to keep in mind as well. And this totally ties into the next question that I see popping up. BG wants to know, what's a good attendance for a first time live streaming? I have an opinion on that, but Rebecca, I'll let you take that question first.
A good attendance, I'll tell you, the first time that you go live, it doesn't matter. If there is no eyeballs, if there's 10,000 eyeballs that are showing up in your stream, it does not matter. Go live. Just do it. As what will happen, you'll do it today. Maybe there's people that will show up, maybe nobody will. You'll save it to your profile. People can watch it afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
It's content. It's actual content. So you're going to have it on your profile. You're going to get views after the fact. Even if you don't, let's say it was a disaster, you don't ever want to think about it ever again. You learned from that. You had the confidence to do it, and then you learn so that the next time you do it, you'll be able to take action, maybe in a different way, maybe the same way, but you'll have the knowledge from the last time you did it. And the more frequent that you can be consistent, the more people will start to actually show up to pay attention to you, like on purpose, not just by accident. Maybe they didn't, maybe the first time they saw you just streaming, but now they know that you're at the same time every week. People will start showing up. And I promise you, like we just went to Miami a couple of weeks ago, and we were unable to. There was I was unable to do a couple lives that I usually do, and people were asking me like where I was. As soon as you start doing something consistently, people will start showing up. What
Totally. That's a it's a great question though, I think,
Yeah.
from BG, because again, I think we always expect because we're doing it and it's a big deal maybe for us. Maybe you've never done it before. Maybe you even have screen fright, right? And it's a big deal to go live. You bought the ring light, you've got your background, you're ready to go. We always think everyone's just waiting for us, but reality is they're not. They're doing whatever it is in their lives that they need to do. So I think, like Rebecca said, that it doesn't matter. And also, one thing I think that's a great tip, BG, is let's just say nobody tunes in. Don't call attention to that, because this show will live, as Rebecca said, if you want to have a show library of your own, or you want to repost it to your page at a later date, or if you are streaming to YouTube, the people watching the replay don't know whether 10 people watched the live or whether 10,000 people watched the live. So don't say, oh, wow, no one's watching. Well, I'll keep going anyway, right? Don't call attention to that. No one knows. And also, a great tip I learned, and Rebecca, you'll have to let me know if you agree or if you give the same advice. I've been taught that you don't start the show and say, okay, great, I'm going to just wait for some people to hop on, right? This is your show. Be the ringleader, give a nice 10 or 20-second introduction to give people a moment to get on and know that you're live. You don't have to jump into your first order of business right when we go live. Say hello, say who you are, say why you're doing the live stream or what the topic is, introduce the guest. Take a minute or two to do some business at the beginning so people have a chance to join you,
Mhm.
but don't sit and wait, because that also shows that you're not prioritizing the people who are there watching in that moment, right?
Absolutely. I would agree with that. I guess if you consider that you'll likely be saving the live, if you're not going to save the live to your profile, well, maybe my opinion would be different, but usually you would probably be saving the live, especially if you provide value. You have such a small amount of time to capture someone's attention at the beginning of a video. So let's just you went live and someone's watching it after the fact. If there is that time of, okay, so now we're just going to wait for someone to get on, people won't, they just won't watch the video, so you won't get people watching the live replay.
Good point. I know I get annoyed if I ever go to watch a video and that's exactly what you see. I'm like, okay, well, I'm here watching,
Yeah.
and or especially if it is a replay. Great questions. Keep them coming. We have a little bit more time with Rebecca and Garev, and I hope I'm saying your names right. Please, it's hard to correct me through typing, but if you can, go for it. Garev has another great question. And I think, different people may have different answers, but he's asking, what's an ideal duration of a live event? Presentation and then Q&A, or should that be done parallelly? I'm going to ask you, Garev, how do you like it? We're doing it parallelly now, pretty much, right? As the questions come, they're totally related to our topic. So we're letting your questions dictate the way that our talk goes. I love that. Rebecca, I don't know about you, but I think duration wise too, I'll just chime in real quick before I throw it to you, Rebecca. I think we need to remember that we all do have short attention spans. So depending on the topic, depending where you're going to be. But I say, 30 minutes is solid. You don't need to go past that. If you hit 45 minutes, great, but maybe even 15 minutes. I don't think it's length. I think it's quality. I don't know. What do you think, Rebecca?
Yeah, and I think it also depends on the platform. Uh, I don't have specific numbers and details like in my head that I could give you, but if you go live and you are trying to get attention and get engagement and get participation, a 5 minute live probably won't do it. Somewhere around the 30-45 minute. But also, there are times that I go live that I'll just go throw on Instagram live and talk about, what I'm excited about, what's going on in my day. Maybe don't forget to join me on this later on, or so those are some of the short lives. The longer lives are, I want to provide value. This is planned. We're maybe going to interact with more than just Rebecca. And so I would agree with you, Marissa, for sure. Mostly.
Awesome. I
Mostly.
remember back when what's that?
I think I added a couple things, but
No, it's good. I almost feel like we just came up with a new term. When you were speaking about the short lives, I came up with the idea of like a soundbite live.
Mhm.
Right? So it's more like a soundbite. It's a nugget of information. Rebecca shared sometimes she goes live before her official show just to be like, hey guys, don't forget, I'll be back today at noon. I'm going live. I'm going to show you how to make maple syrup pancakes straight from Calgary. Especially if it's a how-to video or something that is like food-based or how to do something. Hey, if it only takes you 10 minutes to prepare a dish, I don't think you have to turn that into an hour-long live. Maybe it's just a 20-minute live with a little bit of fun at the beginning, a little bit of fluff. Then you've got your actual how-to demonstration and then a little tasty test at the end. Don't be live, I think, for the sake of being live,
Mhm.
because I think people do value their time. We all know that. And also, as we started off our talk saying, people are being bombarded, right, with digital marketing, live streams, videos, people who want the attention, influencers. So keep in mind if you have a captive audience for your live, give them the valuable information, do what it is you're intended to do. If there are questions and interactions, I mean, if it's working, you don't have to stop, but don't try to milk it just because you're live, especially if you
Yeah.
don't have an audience.
Yeah. And I think that we can go live for different reasons, Going live to interview or provide value, that's definitely that would probably be the most important reason that you could be going live. There are different platforms that you could also go live to talk about things that are happening that you're excited about, so that you can show some authenticity and really allow your audience to connect, because that's another thing that I think in the world of Yellow Pages, when it was, here's the ad, decide from the ad if you want to do business from me. Now it's, here's my family, here's what I do on the weekends, here's also me working really hard, I want to work for you. So people are getting to know you a little bit more authentically, because we're able to create content that does maybe go across not just my work life, but also my personal life. And although I absolutely agree with you, when you go live, you need to present the value and the topic and why you're going live. But if you're going live on the weekends on Instagram to talk about that you're working out or whatever the case might be, that also provides a little bit of authenticity, and then you kind of let people into your life that way.
That's a good point because people do want to do business with the people they know and trust.
Hmm.
And people do feel like they get to know you through social media and through all of these different platforms when you are live. That's a really good point, too.
It's true.
Garev says I am pronouncing his name right. So, yes, score one for us. And he said he understands too that it is subjective, but for his purposes, he thinks 30 to 40 minutes would actually work for him to do a live stream. So, Garev, we're going to be looking for invitations to join you and be viewers for your next live stream.
Absolutely.
Well, listen, this is fun. So, 50 minutes just flew by. Uh, before I get into our Engage news of the week, I'll throw it out to you guys. If you have any more questions for Rebecca, drop them in the comment section now. If you don't, and you want to just share with us any live stream stories you might have or any other experiences you might have had, we'd love to hear them. And Rebecca, any other final tips or thoughts that you'd like to share in terms of incorporating live stream into the digital marketing strategy?
Yeah. What I would say, just do it. Go live. Just do it. It creates engagement, and it lets people see you as an expert. I will also say, every time that you go live, it's an opportunity for you to learn. It's an opportunity for you to find out what people want to know. Make sure you interact with your audience when you're going live. And then call to action. Don't go live with no call to action. At the end, at the beginning, you're going to tell people why they need to wait till the end. At the end, you're going to tell them how they can do business with you. So make sure that you're using, like I always talk about, when it comes to social selling, you're creating content, you're engaging with your audience, and you're giving them a way to convert. Those three things can be done in one live. You're creating content by going live, you're engaging with your audience by, talking to them while you're going live, and then you're giving them a way that they could make a purchase, that they could sign up for a newsletter, that they could join a Facebook group. Whatever your conversion is, make sure that you actually say it, because otherwise people might not know how they can work with you.
Great point. And I think that that's one of the most important. It's the call to action. What do you want someone to join you? What do you want someone who is joining you to do? Like, why are you doing this? And let's just do our call to actions right now, you guys. I want to make sure that you check out Rebecca's website first and foremost. It's RebeccaGetsSocial.com. Rebecca, what can our audience expect to find on your website?
So on my website, that's my coaching website, RebeccaGetsSocial.com. My agency website is actually loudreputation.com. And so both websites have my different services that I provide, that my team provides. And then the other really, really, I love my Facebook group. My Facebook group is Social Selling Growth Masters, and that's my free Facebook group for people to join. And I am giving daily tips, going live in there, and they're just really trying to provide as much value as I can to my audience in that Facebook group.
And then also you can find Rebecca on Instagram at Cramer Says, and that's Cramer with the C. So if you're listening on the podcast, Cramer Says. Clubhouse is the same at Cramer Says. And then we always encourage you guys to connect with Rebecca on LinkedIn. Drop her a note, let her know that you saw her on the Engage Digital Marketing Intelligence show, the live stream, right? And if there's something that was a great takeaway from the show with Rebecca, or even if you have a follow-up question, it's a great way to let her know you were listening, you do care, you're not just trolling for more network connections on LinkedIn. I think that's important as well. And you can find Rebecca Cramer. Her the end of her link is going to be RLCRAMER. So an R and an L, and then Cramer on LinkedIn. Let's see. Garev says, planning to host by end of August. You should get the invitation soon. That's awesome. Hey, Garev, would you mind sharing with us, since we have you live right now, what the topic might be? Or, if you have just a general little bit of a tidbit you can share with us about what you're going to be doing for your live stream. Will it be an interview? Is it maybe a how-to video? Is it something for your company or something more personal? We would certainly love to hear a little bit more about that before we go. Rebecca, I'll keep you it's time for our Engage News of the Week. If it's okay, I'd love to keep you on the screen and we can have a quick powwow about the news that I'm going to share. Before we do that, though, I do want to, while I have your attention, invite you all to go to LinkedIn and make sure you follow the Engage company page. We are working really hard to boost our followers on our Engage company page because we want to be doing LinkedIn Live through that page. And you have to have a certain number of followers, fun little fact, to be able to get approved to do LinkedIn Live through your company page. So help us out. We're bringing you all this great digital information every week, totally free. And you can check us out. It's the company pages. It's Engage, Ngagge. And you can look for our brand logo, which is a fun rainbow colored cog, kind of like a cog wheel. So please give us a follow. On our page, you can find out more about our future shows and different topics that are coming soon. And you can also see replays of our past shows as well. And then one more thing before we get into our Engage News of the Week, check out the Engage Show Library. You can find our show library, and I'll share the link with you. And as Rebecca was just sharing, this is awesome because all of the shows are living in one place. Rebecca's show will be here soon. And it's a great way to see who some of our past guests have been. You can click the link to watch a previous show. And there's also a link for you to connect with our guests on LinkedIn as well, directly from our live show library. If you're listening on our podcast, the live show library is going to be engage.com/live show library. And Rebecca's show will be there starting tomorrow. So check that out as well. Let's see, we've got another comment. Ooh, BG wants to share one quick thing. He says, cracking the digital code. For example, does hashtags work? How the algorithms of various social media differ. Ooh, is this your idea? I think this is his idea for a live stream. Very cool. BG, that's an excellent topic as it relates, especially to what we're talking about today in digital marketing. And then Garev, his topic for his digital live stream is going to be why CX is an integral part of an organization's core business offering. Awesome. Very, very good. I'm excited for you guys. We'll look forward to those invitations and posts on LinkedIn. Make sure you follow the Engage page, follow Rebecca, follow me as well. That way we can all see everybody's posts. Okay, guys, last few moments of the show. It is time for our Engage news of the week. So this week, Rebecca, our Engage marketing news of the week is all about how the coronavirus pandemic has transformed many office workers into remote workers and how it's likely to continue even after the pandemic ends. So check out this little piece of news. Many of you who are freelancers are going to love this. So LinkedIn is hoping to capitalize on the new reality by developing a service for freelancers to find work. It's going to be called Marketplaces, and the new service will enable businesses to find, hire, and pay freelancers. Marketplaces, which is supposed to launch in September, will focus on jobs in fields like design, marketing, and software development. Consultants like you, Rebecca, I'm sure will be there as well. And employers would be able to use the service to compare rates of individual freelancers and the kind of work they offer. Marketplaces is expected to replace ProFinder, a longtime LinkedIn feature that lets users post jobs and hire freelancers. But the new service takes things a step further by letting users connect and facilitate deals directly on the site. LinkedIn is considering taking a cut of the transactions on LinkedIn Marketplaces, as well as charging freelancers to post their own ads. Marketplaces pits LinkedIn against Upwork and Fiverr and is expected to blend features from both competitors. It will let businesses shop for freelancers and compare rates similar to Fiverr, while employers will be able to post their own proposals to freelancers similar to Upwork. And then after the job is done, customers who hire freelancers can post reviews about them. Rebecca, any thoughts on our news of the week? What do you think about that?
I think that is fabulous. I think that, well, first of all, I know that this world has changed permanently when it comes to people working from home and people wanting to work from home. We've figured out that we don't have to be in an office to be efficient and effective with our work. And so I love the idea of LinkedIn actually being able to catch on to that and really take over. Yeah, I think it's a good thing.
Well, and I think you're right. And it's just going to make the LinkedIn site
Yeah,
more interactive and more useful for all kinds of people and all kinds of industries. And people are going to spend more time on the platform, which is what LinkedIn wants. And
absolutely. I've
yeah,
only, when it comes to hiring, I LinkedIn is my primary source of finding people. So I'm definitely excited for that for sure.
awesome. Well, thank you for weighing in on this week's digital marketing news of the week. Thank you so much for joining us today and giving us your valuable time and, of course, your insights on why live streaming is so critical to growing in 2021 and beyond.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Hang tight in the waiting room. I want to say goodbye to you on our own, but I'm just going to wrap up our show. And thank you again, Rebecca, so much for joining us. You guys, wasn't Rebecca a wonderful guest? So many great insights and tips on how to get live streaming And if you're just joining us and maybe you missed out on our show, don't worry. We'll have the replay tomorrow on our LinkedIn page. Again, you can find our LinkedIn page. It is LinkedIn Company Pages Engage, Ngagge. And don't forget to go and show Rebecca some love. Connect with her on LinkedIn, drop her a note, tell her you caught her live stream today. Maybe she's somebody who could help your business in their digital marketing strategy as well. Consider connecting with her to explore that option as well. Listen, if you just missed out on today's show, maybe you're tuning in a little bit late, that is okay. Follow our LinkedIn company page. You'll find out more about where you can see the replay for today's show. And we'll also, of course, have the replay, but we'll also be putting our show in our show library as well. I just want to share that information for you one more time. Our show library is a great place to find all of the shows from the past and all future shows. And you can find those shows at engage.com/live-show-library. Now, the most important thing I want to leave you with today, that is our Engage Live program. If you watch today's show and you're thinking, yes, 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 I need to be live streaming, we can help you. We can help produce your show. Just about 2 months ago, we launched Engage Live, where we help clients with their show strategies, the software they need, email and script templates. We could even get you a moderator if you need help and someone to maybe do the interviews for you or host the show for you. So you can check out more about that program at engagelive.com. Two options. We can do your show for you, or we can teach you how to do it yourself. So there's an option for everyone. And if you need help with your live streaming plan, I encourage you to check out our program. I want to thank you all so much for joining us today. And Garev, you're welcome. He says thank you to Marissa and Rebecca. Thank you all for your questions and your participation. As always, you make our weekly shows really fun when you're interactive and you join us live. Tune in on Thursday, the 12th at 11 a.m. Eastern. Our guest expert will be Kathleen Booth. If you don't know who Kathleen is, you want to tune in. She's going to be teaching us about digital enhancement security, what it is. We're going to learn what it is and why it's crucial to your e-commerce business. Join me back here on LinkedIn Live at 11 a.m. Eastern on Thursday for our guest, Kathleen Booth. In the meantime, I want to thank you all so much again for joining us. Don't forget to connect with Rebecca. Connect with me as well. It's the Marissa Morgan on LinkedIn, and you can drop me an email if you have any show topic ideas or if you know somebody who would be an excellent guest on our show. My email is marissa.m@engage.com. So hit me up there if you want more information on our software, on our app as well, Engage, our cloud-based platform. And you can hit me up there if you have any guest referrals for our show or any show topics you'd like to see us look at in the future. You guys, I had so much fun today. I feel like I'm talking way too much. So I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to let you go. Be productive. Have an amazing day. And I look forward to seeing you all very soon. See you here on Thursday.